got my laptop on, and I feel alright. I got a few joints rolled, and my munchies made. Got my headphones on, and I close the door, don't disturb me. It's time to stand up tall and say some things about the shitty world we're living in, with the boys at Raconteurs News. C'est Raconteurs, c'est Raconteurs, c'est Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News. Oh yeah. Good evening and welcome to Raconteurs Extra. It's weird, isn't it? It's not Tuesday, like Heath said in the intro, but it is a Saturday evening, and we've decided that we wanted to try and resolve an online issue, but more of that a little bit later on. Welcome to the show. It's Saturday night. It's the 16th of June or something like that. 16th of June. It's about a week away from Heath's birthday. 17th of June. 17th of June, 2017. I'm getting all muddled today. And we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. It's going to be a little bit explosive, I think. Tonight, I'm not joined by Andy Young. Andy is producing for us tonight. And for the next couple of shows, my sidekick is going to be none other than Paul Webster. Good evening, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm simmering at the minute, but I'm okay, mate. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll find out why you're simmering in no time at all.
Am I open to freely swear on this show?
Well, yeah, within limits. Let's not down the tone too much.
Okay.
But yeah, the odd swear word is okay.
I'll try and stay within the limits.
All right. Well, we're broadcasting live on raconteursnews.com on Spreaker and, of course, on autonomousmedia.net. There are chat rooms. There's a chat room on raconteursnews.com and there's a chat room on autonomousmedia.net where you can interact. There'll be plenty of people on there. I'm sure we've got tons of questions from the audience tonight for our guest and our guest co-host as well, Paul. We're going to have tons and tons of interaction, I hope. And also you can tweet us at Raconteurs News. At Raconteurs News, you can tweet us with any sort of information that you want to do. What sort of day have you had then, Paul? Give us a bit of an overview of your day.
It's been quite an easygoing day. I've done a bit of research. I'm working on trust law and some other things at the minute, but I seem to have been dragged, kicking and screaming into an argument that I thought we could come online and clear up. But no, I've been, virtually dragged into this, named. I haven't got a clue what's going on, so I'm hoping that Toby's going to give his version, because I've got a version from the other side. It's been shouted at me. It must be directed at me for some reason. From a guy who I know is a really good guy. I know he works hard. I know he does good things. I come from that same good place. I don't know what I'm getting dragged into. I've spoken with Toby a few times. Every dealing I've had with Toby, he's always had integrity. He's not done me any harm. I can't go off anybody else's version other than my own. So I said, Toby, why don't you come on here and defend what he's saying, because you're not doing this online because you were just ignoring it. Somebody calls you out. Come and defend it. If Chris is right, come and tell him. If Toby, I've told Toby, if you are what I told him he was, then it'll be called out and you'll be shown to be that. And if Chrissy Morris is the man to tell us that, tell it us. It's not in those kind of terms. Maybe it's just a disagreement about what we're talking about. But let's stop this division. I mean, I've had very good mutual friends who post a lot of good information, and they're all in conflict because they're trying to put themselves on one side or the other side of the fence. I just wanted to be part of it. Hey, let's have a talk about this. But it turns around, I get the finger pointed at me. I get, what? What's that going on here? Let's talk about it. That was it.
Well, I've seen
things. Thanks for asking.
not the best of days then. I'd seen things online, and I just want to sort of make a point, basically in reply to something that Chrissy Morris had put out about us. I saw the conflict online, and I saw that Toby was asking if to chat and set up a group, and I thought, oh, okay, we can sit here and we can talk, and we can if it's just them two talking, they're just going to be shouting over each other. I thought we could act as moderators. So I suggested this morning.
You did, yes.
This is not opportunistic, even though obviously.
Do you know what, Jason? It could be construed as opportunistic, but when me and you and Andy, we've talked for a long, long time. We know where everybody comes from. To be assumed that we were being opportunistic to try and create numbers, that's almost like saying that you want to get on Channel 4 so you can show yourself to be right about something. Now, I'll straight out the blocks here, Jay. The production team that has done Chrissy Morris's documentary have courted me and my mate Kevin for 3 years. They've been asking us for us to do a documentary, but our documentary, our evidence, our information, our truth is about bills of exchange in a debt-based economy. And I said, come and do what you want. I'll interview me, put it out. You'll never get it past your CEO. It will never be heard, because that information is tapping into a £2.3 billion profit. They're never going to let that info out. Have I been contacted in 3 years by the same production team that went to Chrissy Morris's everything in his life? They apparently turned up everywhere. They've never even contacted me. But my truth is the same as Chrissy's truth. He's doing good. I can't knock his stuff. He stopped bailiffs, and bailiffs are bell ends. It takes a special kind of person to do a bailiff's job and a debt collector's job. It really does. Yeah. Like I say, do you know what I mean? I'm never knocking his work, but for some reason he's lashed out at me today, and I have taken it quite badly. A mutual friend between me and Chrissy has contacted me, and I've had to tell him what I felt, because I can't take phone calls from this man feeling what I feel now after what he's just said without ever meeting me or speaking to me. I tried to contact Chrissy from the 5th of June. I've contacted him several times between then and today. He's tried to contact me half a dozen times. No, dozen. He's tried to contact me a dozen times. I can't take a call from a man who's just said what he said about me online, because I've done nothing wrong, and that's not right.
Oh, well,
I have that interjection, have this fucking argument out online with Toby, tell Toby who he is, let Toby tell who he is, and blah, 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 and we can sort it out.
Yeah. And that has, because I've been in touch with you all day, and that's been your attitude all day, because I've spoken with both parties at length a couple of times. And so I do know that Chrissy was hoping that you would take a call from him. And actually, just as you were talking then, Chrissy Morris was phoning me. So,
Jason, it was on my personal time with somebody who fucking hates the stuff we talk about, because she works too hard for it to be real. She works too damn hard for a gas to be free because she works too hard to pay for it, right? She can't cope with that kind of information. If I can't give somebody who I really care about that time and not talk about this, then I'm not the man who I want to be. But then I'm called out because I won't take a phone call from somebody I've tried to get in touch with for 3 weeks. No, not having it. No, it's not. It's out of order.
Well, some people might be scratching their head and wondering what we're talking about.
Indeed, I'm still scratching my bloody head.
But I think it's about time we introduced our guest tonight. We did extend an invitation to both Toby Lee and to Chrissy Morris. And to be fair to Chrissy Morris, he did attempt to make a call just before the show started, but he was also. He was also broadcasting live on Facebook as well as he did it. So perhaps if anybody watched that, you perhaps heard some of the stuff that goes on beforehand that we talk about. But he had some problems, so we couldn't. It was not really. It wasn't really going to work, I don't think. So he's gone off there. But like I said, he's just given me a phone call. Obviously, I can't accept a phone call when I'm live on the radio. So Chrissy, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are, that I wasn't ignoring you purposefully. It's just that I'm on the radio. And we also extended an invitation to Toby Lee as well, who accepted our invitation with great vigour. So without further ado, let's introduce Toby. How are you doing, Toby?
All right, lads. Evening all.
How are you?
What some shit you have, Toby.
Well, you know, I'm always in the shit. It's only the depth that varies.
Damn right, you've caused some shit, mates. Tell us. Tell your version of this.
I think you should take that back. I haven't caused any fucking shit.
Listen, don't be pedantic. Tell us your shit. Tell us your side.
I'll tell you what we want to do first. First of all, the first question I want to ask is the question that people have been asking online. Right. And they've asked, was it you that tried to get the Channel 4 documentary stopped? And if so, why did you do that?
Good question.
Yeah. As I've stated on Facebook, I've got nothing to hide.
I know.
It was it was private. It was private business between me and Channel 4.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Just a second. I think Chris has just joined us. He's just come into the call. So if you could we can hear you, Chrissy. We're just starting off. Toby's just telling us, answering a question. So if you could just mute your microphone, and then we'll try and get you in a little bit after.
What question was it, please, gents? And now I can know, so I can listen. Go on, mate.
It was the question that you asked me to ask him. The first question, which was it you that tried to take the injunction out against Channel 4 to stop them broadcasting? And if it was, then why? And that was the question that he's answering. So if you could just mute your mic, and then we'll bring you in afterwards. So Toby, if you just want to carry on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no worries. I didn't realise it was Chrissy that asked that question, which makes it even more fascinating. Yes, it was me, as it is apparently so that Chrissy was fully aware that it was me in court, because he'd obviously put the Facebook post on there saying, "I'll wait till later, I've got some revealing news and gossip to tell you about." Yes, it was, but the issue was, to be quite blunt, it's got fuck all to do with Chrissy. It's private business between me and Channel 4, as it has been since September last year. I did. I went to court. I wasn't trying to stop the broadcast. I wasn't trying to stop the production.
Injunct it, Toby. How can you say you did try and stop it?
Sorry, Chrissy. If you could just let him finish, please. We're not going to get anywhere if we. No, well,
You get his chance.
With all due respect, I asked him a question, and he's given me the courtesy of giving me an answer to that question. You might not agree with it, but when he's finished at the end, you'll be able to put your side, put your point of view. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, just to explain a bit of like a court procedure, Queen's Bench, Royal Courts of Justice. People go there to actually sort out the differences man to man. And the process is you go and state your case, you put it across. As much as you might disagree with it, and you want to interject, that's not the way that conduct is done. You go and put your case across. You don't sort of just jump down the throat of anyone as soon as when they're talking, as Chrissy has just tried to do.
Just cut the shit, Tobe, and have a chat. I ain't got long, man. Cut the shit and have a chat. Going about court procedure and stuff. That ain't why people are here, mate. People are here to try and work out why you tried to stop the show. You tried to injunct the show. You tried to stop the show, and we've got the documents apparently. So
right, Chrissy, we need. Now, he was answering the question. We've got a 2-hour show. We've got plenty of time, Chrissy.
No, I haven't got plenty of time, guys. Yeah, I'm missing out on fucking important time with my family. Thank you. You spring this on me on the day. Yeah, and this shouldn't.
Nobody sprung anything on Chrissy. Nobody sprung anything on you. I asked you if you'd be willing to
ask why you did it. Why did you do it,
Chrissy?
Chrissy, well, let's let Toby answer the question.
Yeah, but he's going about court procedure and shit like that. You might be.
Well, shut up then, Chris. Shut up then, Chrissy.
Tell me why you did it, Toby. Did you do it because you were shitting that you'll be up on a full charge?
All right, okay.
Can anybody fucking hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, Andy. Hold on a minute. Now I'm intrigued. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's change the direction of this show.
No,
right, okay.
No.
Right now, Chrissy.
How about answering the question?
Chrissy, no.
How about answering simple questions and not trying to fluff it up with legal politics?
No, Chris, cool. I'll tell you what. Why don't you start with telling me what I've done, eh?
No, because I don't know what you've done, right? I think. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think and what I've been told.
Right, okay, listen, guys, this is not going to work unless we give each other the courtesy of not talking over each other. It is just not going to work, and we might as well just stop it now.
How about we do it at a more convenient time then?
Guys.
Jason, can I speak?
Yes, Paul, you go ahead, Paul.
Thank you. Chrissy, you have just fucking moaned about being on personal time, and you haven't got that time, yet I've been called out live online by you because I have personal time with somebody and won't take your call. That is out of order, me. And you are now.
Chrissy, will you please stop interrupting?
You have put.
No. Yeah, prick.
Right, okay. So Chrissy's gone. Seems to have gone. Paul. Right, Toby.
Yeah, sorry,
Can we continue with the question that we asked before we got interrupted? We're saying why. Carry on through the procedures and stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad I chose this Raconteurs News as a medium to actually resolve this debate live because it quite clearly it was never going to get resolved over me answering a telephone call from Chrissy.
Toby, do us a favour.
Go on.
All the bollocks now and just say your side of this because I'm sick of it. That man who's just talked over me, who virtually wanted... I might as well have been in the boxing ring. I understand it. I understand how passionate he is. But he's lashing out at somebody who wants to help. Now, you help people, he's helped people. Tell us what you were doing about this, the controversy about this documentary.
No problem. Right.
Don't put any flowers in front of it. Just tell us.
Right. Basically, I don't know how far to go. This is going to be a little bit like Pulp Fiction, a bit like Tarantino, because I'm going to be jumping.
I'll tell you what, why don't you make it like a short advert, Tobe, and just tell us why you went for the injunction, and are you having a claim up?
Just for the listeners, benefit of the listeners, Chrissy Morris has reconnected with us and again straight away.
Guys. I never disconnected. So are you going to tell people, Tobe? Are you on are you having an insurance claim?
Does this feel like this is intended?
Are you having an insurance claim about your mobility, Tobe? And were you worried that you would be filmed going up and down stairs and running up and down your drive and stuff like that? Did you injunct it or try to injunct it because you was worried that you'd get caught out having a fraudulent claim on an insurance company? answer that question.
Right, Chrissy, listen,
No,
we'll allow this.
I've just asked Tobe a question.
I know you have, but we're
Right, so let Tobe answer that question.
It's not going to work. And are you going to let Toby answer the question? That's what I'm actually asking. Yeah, I know. Go on, Toby. Answer the question.
Well, sorry, right. Right, if you're talking about my personal injury claim, when I had an accident at work in June 2011, when I ruptured my anterior cruciate ligament, and I've had 6 knee operations since. I think the last operation in 2013, 14. Me walking up and down the stairs, believe it or not, is part of physio to build my leg strength back up.
So you have got a personal injury claim going on, yeah?
It's all over my Facebook. I've got nothing.
Everyone
knows me.
I know. Are you worried that you was going to be viewed to be fully mobile? Because as I understand it, you're going for a few quid off of them, and you're claiming to have a lack of mobility and stuff.
I'm not claiming anything, Chrissy.
Nothing wrong with you.
I'm not claiming anything, Chrissy.
You're not claiming. You're not having a claim up. You're not going for a swindle.
Chris, are you medically trained?
I don't have to be.
Oh, right, okay. Have you seen the medical report that's come back from the medical? Sorry, I'm talking, Chrissy.
You're talking.
Well, don't be fucking rude.
Listen,
you
try to think a documentary that could have helped a few thousand people because you're
the Chrissy Morris show.
Right, okay. Well, listen, we're going to have to do something here because this is just a complete mess. Chrissy, you're going to have to stop interrupting people. You're doing it now to me.
You don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do.
Listen, I'm the host of this show. It's my show.
Right, I'm going to chime in here, Chrissy, and you've got one chance. You've got one chance now, Chrissy. No one can hear you. Can't talk over me. You've got one chance. You either let the person speak without interrupting, or you will be cut off from this call. End of.
There we go.
Chrissy's just removed himself from the call.
Sorry, lads. I've had enough. The guy has got a lot of passion and he's coming from a good place. He's doing good things. But when you can't have debate, it feels false. It feels like that's intent. Now, people are going to attach, as they already are doing online, that Toby and Chrissy are in on this together. Where do we stop this? Toby, again, now, tell us what you've done to be participating in this fucking saga, and just tell your truth. I don't know.
Okay. No, good. Okay. I've got it clear in my head now which direction I want to go in. I thought we were just going to answer the question, but I think it's quite.
Fuck it, Toby. Fuck his questions. Tell me why you're involved in this. What the fuck were you doing? Okay. There's many questions that need to be answered. One of them is, was it me that went to court to try and get an injunction on the show? Yes, it was me that went to court to try and get an injunction on the show. Have I got an issue with Chrissy Morris? No, I haven't got an issue with Chrissy Morris. It's nothing personal. It was nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. My application to the court to not delete the show, not remove it, not let it get aired, my application was simply, plain and simple, I revoked my consent with Channel 4 and 9 Lives Media back in September last year that I did not want any involvement with the TV show. I didn't want to be on TV. I didn't want nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I didn't want nothing to do with the programme. I revoked my consent with Channel 4 and 9 Lives Media back in September last year that I did not want any involvement with the TV show. I didn't want to be on TV. I didn't want nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I didn't want nothing to do with the programme. I revoked my consent with Channel 4 and 9 Lives Media back in September last year that I did not want any involvement with the TV show. I didn't want to be on TV. I didn't want nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I didn't want nothing to do with the programme. I revoked my consent with Channel 4 and 9 Lives Media back in September last year
that I did not want any involvement with the TV show. I didn't want to be on TV. I didn't want nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I didn't want nothing to do with the program. I revoked my consent with Channel 4 and Nine Lives Media back in September last year that I did not want any...
Paul.
I can hear you.
Right, thank you. I think somebody had got the chat room, had got the thing on, and it was coming back through afterwards. I don't know where Toby's gone.
To be fair, I cut him off because I didn't know. Is he back? Are you back, Toby?
Hello. I don't know what the fuck happened now. I've just got a complete replay of everything that I just said.
Exactly. Well, that's what we were getting. That's what we were. So, let's go back to the...
I'll go back to the point where I was, right? So, I was revoking my consent because I didn't want to be a part of the show. So, therefore, when I went to the court...
So, sorry for just interjecting. So you refute every point that you were trying to attempt to stop the show being aired. All you were doing was revoking consent.
All I was doing was revoking my consent for the 4 minutes and 46 seconds, whatever it was, that my scene, my story, the part I played in the programme...
To be edited.
To be removed.
So all you wanted... It wasn't. The rest of the show was fine. Fill it with something else.
I didn't care about the show.
Yeah. So take my 5 minutes worth and give it me back because I am now revoking that consent. I've
done that. I've done that back in September. The first time I notified them. Now I didn't want. I'm not a mudslinger like some others. This was a private arrangement between me and Channel 4. It had nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. Nothing to do with anybody else other than me and Channel 4. For whatever reason it may be, I've been dragged into this and publicly humiliated, character assassination, annihilated through something that's got absolutely by someone, Chrissy, that's got no evidence of the facts.
To be fair, I've been dragged into this along with others. You know, I have understanding of this. Like I said earlier on, this Nine Lives Media has courted myself and Kevin Mark for a few years to look into the bills of exchange. They're never going to talk about the bills of exchange because it's too real.
Let me take it back to the beginning and my reasoning behind my decision and my choice to do what I've done.
Okay, listen, can I just interject? We've had a question in the chat room, and it's just somebody who said, can someone take 2 minutes to explain the context of this? So I will explain the context of this. There was a show on Channel 4 on Thursday. Was it Thursday night? At 10 o'clock. It was something. It was about battling the bailiffs, and Chrissy Morris was the main character in that. Toby was in it as well. But Toby had a couple of days before or the day before had tried to get an injunction against Channel 4 because he'd removed his consent and didn't want to be in the film anymore, in the documentary anymore. And that was from I think he withdrew his consent in September. So that's the basic context of this for anybody that hasn't been following the story. And we've got Toby here. We did have Chrissy Morris, but we've had to lose him because he just wasn't interacting in a way that is conducive to good debate and to get to the bottom of this. And now Toby is explaining.
It's over people. That's why. Yes, that's the context anyway. I don't think that took 2 minutes, but Chrissy's gone off. Sorry, Chrissy hung up apparently. But we've still got Toby here. So Toby,
I think Chrissy, with his 16,000 followers, are probably still listening, and he's probably streaming it live as we speak. But anyway, so when Channel 4 first come round, or when Nine Lives Media first come, my eviction, back in April last year, that was up for a repossession and eviction of my property through the mortgage company, through the banks. LPA receivers were instructed by Birmingham Midshires to repossess and take my house. Now, the LPA receivers, Matthew Hunt and James Perrett, went to Maidstone County Court and put an application in, and the application was the claimant was James Perrott and Matthew Hunt, acting by Tobe Hayden Lee as the claimant, and the defendant was a name which I'm not going to mention on air because it's immaterial. So that was the claimant. So I was the claimant claiming possession of my own property. Now, the day before, days leading up to the possession.
Was that business premises, that's all?
Sorry?
Was that a business premises?
No, that's my house. It's my own.
What were the receivers doing then?
Well, what? So I haven't paid the mortgage for 3.5 years.
Yeah, but receivers normally act in like commercial stuff, don't they? Because they act as your agent as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Ben Gilmore. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. The fact is that the bank instructed these LPA receivers to repossess my property, and they was using my name to bring a claim for the repossession, and I was acting as the claimant. Now, days leading up to that, working closely with Michael Bonacia, assisted in getting an application into the court to appeal against the possession order that was given by Deputy District Judge Adams at Maidstone County Court, highlighting the fact that there was fraud that's been perpetrated upon the court because the LPA receivers were acting on the hidden power of attorney clause within the standard mortgage terms and conditions, and that's not conducive with the Power of Attorney Act 1971, where they need to have a standalone power of attorney deed in accordance with the Power of Attorney Act 1971 to be able to bring a claim in my name. So the application that was put before the court the day before was an appeal against the order for the possession because it's fraudulent and void, because the LPA receivers have fraudulently acted in my name without the power of attorney to do so to repossess my property against a defendant. So this application in the court the day before. Now, I spoke with Chrissy Morris. I spoke with Dave Richard contacted me. It was on public knowledge. It was on Facebook that there was a potential repossession eviction going to be happening on April the 6th, 2016. Dave Richard said, "Oh, do you want me to put a shout out for you?" I said, "No, Dave, no, I'm all right. I've got this. You know, I'm fucking clued up. I know the game I'm playing. I know what I'm involved. I know the law. No, it's fine. I don't want thousands of people like there was at Tom Crawford's. I just want a handful of people. It's okay. That was no problem." Chrissy Morris, again, same thing. Do you want me to put a shout out to get a load of people down? I said, "No, Chris, it's all right. I've got this. I'm in control of it." So he said, "Do you want me to bring Channel 4 down, the film crew?" And I didn't know anything about the Channel 4 film crew. I didn't know anything about the fact that they had contacted Response UK, that they was following Aidy Sutcliffe and Rachel Shipp and David Hayes with the work they was doing, that obviously they picked up on through Tom Crawford's. So Chrissy's turned up with the film crew, didn't mention anything to do with anything about Response, didn't put a shout out, so that was it. So they've come down, introduced themselves, they've got, we're doing this thing about lay litigants, challenging the system, going opposing repossessions and evictions, etc., and we're going to do a documentary about it. There was no name for the film at the time, so I said, yeah, great, excellent. So I was under the understanding and the belief that Nine Lives Media was going to be filming and following me with my plight and exposing what I was doing, how I was doing it, and how I was opposing and objecting to the legal system and the fraudulent bailiffs, etc., and the illegal repossessions of properties that's happening on a daily basis. I thought, fantastic, this is good. It's going to make good TV. It's going to get the message out there. Now, they was here filming for the day before, the day and the day after. Obviously, right the way throughout, I was liaising, communicating with Michael Bonacia, who's advising me about the rights and the laws and stuff that I didn't know about, to make sure that I was quoting and stating the correct law. And that was it. So they left after the third day. Done the filming. They come and filmed me again on another day when I went down to the court at Medway to go and put another application in to obviously oppose the circuit court judge, and then took it up to the appeal court. But so that's how the scene was set. Now,
yeah, somebody's asked a question in the chat room. I think it's Tell the Truth and Nick Nomick as well, and they're both asking the same question. Did you sign a release or anything similar with Channel 4 or the media company?
Yeah, funny you should mention that. Yes, there was when I went up to a Real Change meeting in January 2016 up at Leeds. Jason Noter and various others and Tom Crawford was given a talk and discussion. Candace approached me, and I was up there with Colin, and I was filming. There was no mention about this bailiff busting program or whatever the name was at the time. They come up to come and talk to me, and they was talking to me about, funny enough, about gas and electric meters and obviously stuff that I've been working closely with Paul Webster and.
Dodgy subject. That's a dodgy subject. Nobody likes that.
Exactly. But that was the topic, and that was what they asked me questions about. So they asked me to sign an iPad, just a screen, put my signature on it. There was no discussion. There was no explanation about what that signature meant. Was whether it gave them the right to submit the film or any of my rights away to all and sundry, universal.
Did you not ask them what it is you're signing? I mean, surely somebody who's as knowledgeable as you would have said, well hang on a minute, before I sign this, what is it I'm signing?
It was for the release. It was to do with the film on that day. I was led to believe that I was signing to give them the authority and the consent to actually publish what I was discussing there and then on that day. Now it's in my case bundle, which I put before the court. The contract, which also, they said it wasn't a contract. Now, at the bottom of
it wasn't a contract. They're not telling you lies.
So unilateral contract. Look, I don't go too much into that because obviously that's still subject to ongoing litigation as far as I'm concerned. But the fact is, I mean, at the bottom, it took me. They never gave me a copy of the contract, never gave a copy of the agreement. It took me several months to obtain a copy of it, and then upon receipt of it. It states a witness down the bottom. I think Sonia Slater has signed it to say that she's witnessed my signature. Now, that is factually incorrect because the only person that was there on that day was me and Candace. She gave me an iPad and asked me to put my monograph on it, which is what I did. No one signed it afterwards. So they've fraudulently added someone else's signature onto a document alleging that she witnessed me signing the fuck. Anyway, so no, that in answer to that question. Yeah, I did sign a release. Right,
but you didn't read it because we've got another question. Acelli, which I think is Chuck Acelli, who does a great show. That's on Autonomous Media as well. He's just posted in the chat room. Did he read it? I would imagine that the answer to that question is no.
No. So it was on the spot. He said, "Want to film? Yeah, I can just sign it to say that we can use your footage in what you've said about the subject." And even on the contract, now I've been sent the thing, it says real change leads. It didn't say anything about battling the bailiffs.
Right. Yeah, by signing the agreement.
But it doesn't, but anyway, that's irrespective. The fact of the matter is, it's my right, and it is my right, to revoke that, which is exactly what I've done. I revoke the consent, I revoke the contract, and I remove all of my rights. It's my right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Tom, is that's what they are standing under, that you actually did that signature. Whatever you've got to provide now, you are put in the position of burden of proof where you have to prove them completely and utterly wrong.
But exactly, and that was what the court. That's
what the court's doing, though, Toby. They're hiding under certain things. And if you don't specifically find it, they find against you. It's all about these specifics. I mean, I had a case where they stood under a common law fact of, under a mortgage, you've agreed to pay so much a month. If I can't pay so much a month, in your agreement, in your terms and conditions, I am going to gift my house if I don't complete this agreement. And that they stand under the common law aspect that is your honour, that you've done that. You can talk about mortgage money being made up out of thin air. You can talk about everything. If you don't nail that specific, and it's what we've done to you.
But the fact is, Paul. I mean, how this has all stemmed about is the fact of the truth of the matter, which unfortunately Chrissy Morris has not got any. No substance to his allegations, his claim that I've tried to remove the film because of an insurance claim which is ongoing. That's false. There's no substance with that. I don't understand what it is. His allegation. The fact is, I wanted nothing to do with the programme. Clear and simple. That's it. Not to do with Chrissy. I just wanted nothing. I revoked my consent, and that is what I went to court for. It wasn't I was trying to stop it because of the Chrissy Morris show. I didn't want that to go ahead. The fact was, when I was in court, and my argument and the reasons was misrepresentations of the facts and deceiving the public, and it's got a public interest because, as I predicted, bearing in mind, I've been asking Channel 4 and asking Nine Lives Media since September last year, all evidence in my bundle, in my witness statement. I've been requesting to see the final cut that was going to go to show to air, and if I was happy with it, then I wouldn't have contested it. But they've refused, right up until the point, even in court the other day, the barrister, the pro bono barrister, which I had, said, look, Toby, you've got to be very careful here. He said, you do realise that if you don't win this today, you're looking at £20,000-30,000 worth of legal fees. It's Channel 4 you're up against. There's 6 to 8 of the CEOs, directors, Nine Live Media, and I had to make that decision. And I stood on the truth. And I thought, no, do you know what? No one's bullying me. This hasn't nothing to do with it. This is business. This is between me and Channel 4. Nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I don't want to take his fame away from him, and it's quite clearly that his ego has gone through the roof through the production. I didn't want to take it. Get on with it. It's not my business. The business was between me and Channel 4, which is private, personal, between me and Channel 4. Chrissy Morris, when he found out, he knew. He's been told by Channel 4, by Nine Live Media, that someone was making an injunction. He made that quite clear and apparent on his Facebook postings that someone was trying to, there's cat and mouse, bloody bar, put a cat amongst people, whatever it was. So he knew full well that I was making an injunction. I was trying to not stop the show. Okay, inevitably it would have done because it was on the day of release. It would have pulled it on that day, but they would have had to re-edit it. I wasn't trying to stop the program. I was just trying to pull it just to get my stuff out of it. Oh, do you know what? I've just lost my fucking train of thought. Wherever there's so much going on inside my head with what's happened the last couple of days. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of
off the wall, mate. It has been quite off the wall.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely pointless. It's absolutely nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. I'm getting back on track. That was my point. Chrissy Morris at any point, he's got my phone number. As soon as he let me finish. As soon as he was made aware by Channel 4 and Nine Lives Media that I was objecting and trying to get an injunction, trying to stop the release of the programme on TV. He could have picked the phone up at any point and said, Tobe, what's going on? I've heard that you're trying to... And I would have told him, fair and square, I would have told him, I'm as transparent as they come. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You've only got to look at my Facebook wall to see that. But what you see is what you get. I've got nothing to hide. I stand on the truth. If I've got that is it. What you see is what you get. He could have phoned me at any given moment and I would have told him straight from the horse's mouth, I said, look, Chris, this is what it is. And that would be it, end of it. But no, what did Chrissy do? He decided to sit on it and wait. He knew it was me and wanted to hear the outcome, and then all of a sudden his character assassinated me, publicly humiliated, calling me a shill, an agent, and God knows what else. And all of his followers, I'm getting death threats, I'm getting text messages saying, if it wasn't for Chrissy Morris, you'd be out in the street. What a load of bollocks. I addressed the court, I addressed the judge, I addressed the QC for Channel 4 in court, on evidence, which is going to be fucking on the record, it's all on the record, on the public record, that I said to him, look, my prediction, I got sent an email by Cat Lewis telling me, Tobe,
you got that email, could you evidence that?
Of course you can. It's in my bundle. It's in my bundle. Listen, I've got nothing. Listen.
You're bringing stuff, Toby. You're bringing stuff that you can back up, right?
Listen, why would I sit here and fucking spout off bullshit?
Hang on,
I've got nothing to gain from this.
No, that's what I'm saying, Tob. Hang on. What you're saying is, though, not only have you got a bundle that's been into court where you've stood and
under oath
represented yourself, whatever, then something has gone awry in regard with this documentary because you didn't want to be in it. Now, all of a sudden, we must listen to arguments between you, who has taken documents into court, who can provide full and valid evidence, against someone who just shouts and shouts. But that aside, this man is a good man. He's come from a good place. He's helped a lot of people. What is there in between that is causing this friction? If it is the media, that's got to be addressed, along with the legal stuff. I spoke to you earlier, Tom, about Panorama. There was a Panorama programme last year, and it showed 2 videos that I was very privy to. And one was showing them trying to drill somebody's locks, and they were titanium locks, and they never got in. And then it edited to a flat where they just finished fixing a pay-as-you-go meter. And the Panorama speaker said, these companies can get forced entry warrants and fit pay-as-you-go meters. I went, you bastards, you've actually told them the truth. You can force entry. You can fit pay-as-you-go meters. But there's a massive difference between you owes money and forcing entry. Massive. And that was the... What do you do with these companies? That's why I knew Nine Lives would never, ever interview me and Kevin about bills of exchange, because they can't edit it. You know, you've sent me a cheque to pay for my gas. End of.
Kev, this is the mainstream media we're talking about. That's what they showed. Now, I'll be interested, because part of my application that went before the court, and part of my the main reason was that I put the application to remove myself is because of the sheer fact that I could foresee after Kat sending me the sketch in an email telling me what I said and what happened and what was shown. I just joined the dots, and I was like, well, from seeing the blog on Channel 4 saying Chrissy Morris going around the country stopping evictions or whatever it was.
Sorry.
And with the information that I was sent to me, I was like, hold on a minute, this is going to be an hatchet job. This is going to be portraying Chrissy Morris as the hero of the day that turned up to my house, that see the bailiffs off, and then and that was it. And he stopped the eviction. Now, that's a misrepresentation of the truth, which under Misrepresentation Act 1967, and it's deceiving the public because it's not factual, because they've edited to make it look. Now, I think anyone that's seen that programme, which is what my argument was, which is exactly what I said to the judge in court, that if my perception, my understanding is right of the show, if that's what it's going to perceive to the public, then what I've now been subjected to for the rest of my life is that when I'm walking down the street, whether it be friends or family or members of the public, whether they say it or whether they just think it, they're going to be like, that's the one that Chrissy Morris stopped him from taking his house. That's deceiving the public. That's fucking misrepresentation of the facts, because it wasn't nothing to do with Chrissy Morris. The fact of the matter is, the reason why the bailiffs stood down, now bearing in mind, on the 6th of April, I didn't just have the bailiffs there, I had the police, I had the gas people, the electric people, the metal shuttering people, the house clearance people. That was all down my road, waiting to come and take my house. The reason why they couldn't fucking take my house is because I was the claimant. The courts were trying to get me out of my house, over to Medway County Court, to go and present my application, because as soon as I was out the house, then they could then take vacant possession. The reason why the bailiffs fucked off wasn't because of Chrissy Morris, as it's been perceived on TV. It's because of me, Michael Bonacia, because the paperwork we put in, which Channel 4 and Nine Lives Media was fully aware of, because we was communicating right the way through. But what have they done? They've hatched it. They've edited it to make it look like Chrissy is the fucking hero. He's come around and saved us. I'm getting
so that's your sorry, Toby. I didn't see. We've had Michael Obenis here on Raconteurs News, myself and Andy, and I've met him as well and seen him a few times. I didn't see him at all in that area. Now in the programme, I've just watched it this afternoon. So my question to you would be: would you say that that's because they edited it so that it looked like Chrissy had got a result, or do you think that was because Michael Obenissia had said, "I don't want my image to be broadcast"?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Michael Bonacia was in contact with Channel 4 and also Nine Lives Media, because obviously everyone's aware about the film, The Great British Mortgage Swindle. Michael Bonacia was liaising with Channel 4 and fully prepared to offer footage that he has for the film and to actually work with them alongside to expose which is factually what the programme is supposed to be exposing back in the Bailiffs and about the fraudulent evictions and repossessions of properties. But they obviously that weren't the story that they wanted to show, evidently. I mean, now I'll ask you this quickly, Andy. Now you said you watched it earlier. What was the impression? What the impression was that you got from viewing that earlier? Would you say the impression that went out to the general populace was the fact that Chrissy was the one, there's a hero that saved the day, that come out and stopped the repossession of my house?
I think this has got far too political. I think
I'm asking a question, Andy. I'm asking you a question, Andy. You watched it earlier. What is your
Andy, Jason, sorry, you're talking to Jason, not Andy.
Sorry, Jason.
Paul, say it.
I'm looking at Andy. I'm talking to Jason. That's great. Sorry, Andy. Sorry, Jason. Yeah. So, what is your perception of that? Would you say that was a fair portrayal of what Channel 4 have put out to the general public?
Yeah, essentially that's what they did. I mean, we'll get into. I think what we'll do is we'll get into actually what we thought of the film, of the documentary, because people do have differing views. I know there's a lot of people with differing views.
Different views. I'm getting death threats. I'm getting emails.
We've just got a question from Tell the Truth in the chat room, and it's been in there for a while, so I just want to read that out. Tell the Truth says, "What did you have to lose from appearing in the program?"
What do I have to lose?
Yeah. Look, it's just what's coming. Like you said,
I had nothing. I had nothing to lose. It's just a sheer fact. It's my choice to not appear in the program, and the fact of the matter is that I knew that it was going to be an hatchet job, and they was going to be misrepresenting of the facts because they wasn't portraying exactly what had gone on, which was evidently clear. And I stand on the truth. You know, I listen. They set these legislation, they sent these rules and regulations out that we've all got to abide by. Now, if they're not following their own fucking code of conduct, then why the fuck shouldn't I stand up and say, look, hold on a minute, that's not fucking right. I don't want to be a part of it.
Right. Yeah, that's fair enough. It was just a question that had been in the chat room. That's all, and I was just interested on whether the reason why we didn't see Michael Obanisia on the screen is because that he'd not given his consent, or he'd said to him, "No, I don't want to be filmed at all." Because there were one or two people that had the faces blanked out. So I'm assuming those people.
I don't know whether that was. Now that brings us on to another topic of conversation. After the filming and after it had gone on, bearing in mind, like I said to you earlier about Chris saying about putting a shout out and this, that, and the other, I got in communication with Andy Sutcliffe and Rachel Shipp, and that is when I become aware of the fact that Nine Lives Media had initially made contact with them, and I was following them. The response about stopping unlawful evictions and repossessions. Now, Chrissy Morris is fully aware of this, and also not just my case on that day. I think there's at least 3 others that I know of, where Chrissy Morris has obviously integrated with the Channel 4 Nine Lives Media and almost like poached the attention off of a response group, where Chrissy found out about a repossession or an eviction or bailiffs being turned up, etc., 3 weeks prior. Now, Chrissy Morris didn't contact Rachel Shipp and Andy Sutcliffe, and now verify. Listen, I'm not going to be talking about this and making statements about something that isn't factually correct, and they will back me up on this because that's where the information's come from. Where Chrissy Morris has waited, knowing full well about a situation or a circumstance 3 weeks prior, the day before, Chrissy has contacted AD and Rachel Shipp, knowing full well that they never had enough time to organise to be able to get down there. So therefore, Chrissy could have the limelight to himself and have Channel 4 and be on camera. That's on 3 separate occasions. And I've also been told that every single repossession eviction that Chrissy's got involved with, they've all lost their houses. There's also Kevin Marks that I spoke to regarding a gas and electric meter, where they were trying to install gas and electric meter in someone's property. And Chrissy had the camera crew following him, and Chrissy refused to pass the telephone over from the bailiffs, from the warrant officers for the gas and electric people, to Kevin Marks, who has assisted me before with the gas and electric people. I passed the phone over from Kevin Marks and put it over to the warrant officers. Well, guess what? They haven't come into my house. But Chrissy refused to pass the phone over to Kevin Marks because he was in front of the camera, and he didn't want it to be seen that it wasn't him that had stopped the warrant of entry to come in and play payment meters, and they've been up losing. So I'm just I'm not painting the scene. I'm just reciting the facts of what I know, and I've got first-hand knowledge of all of the facts. So.
Yeah, we know Kevin Mark. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of mine and Andy's and Paul's, I believe. He does some sterling work as well. So I'm sure he's listening. So hello to you, Kevin, down there in Nottingham. And I hope you're all right, mate.
He's in Dubai or somewhere like that. He'll be milking camels.
Well, listen, I've noticed that we are sort of getting to the top of the hour. I think it's probably time for us to have a little bit of a music break and a comfort break. In other words, go for a shit or something if that's what you think that you need to do. It is Raconteurs News. It's Raconteurs News. It's broadcasting this Saturday night. It's Raconteurs Extra, I should say. We're broadcasting this Saturday night on autonomousmedia.net and also on raconteursnews.com. So we're going to have like a little bit of a break, and then we'll get back. We will talk about, we'll let you carry on talking, Toby, and give us some of the details.
Listen, what I've said so far is just a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I know that. I've been on the phone to you all day, remember? So
Jason, you've got to stop him fucking talking, mate. Otherwise, he'll just chat shit up.
You give it a rest, rabbit.
All right. Well, in the second hour, we're going to talk about more of that, obviously, and then I think what we should do is we should do a critique of the show itself and what we actually thought about it and what it did and did it do any good? But we should play a record. I don't know what record we've got lined up. Andy's got one lined up. I think it's a Heath record. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
The wiggies cause I'm off to the hole in the road. I'm wagging off school and I'm off to the city, watching telly all night and I'm not looking pretty. See, I got this job downtown, selling knocked off ladies watches for £1 for a really dodgy man that I met in a dodgy cafe. You know, he said to me, the girl who sold these yesterday wasn't selling very carefully. Police came along and took her and all my watches away. So if you see some coppers, you grab my stuff and leg it, boy, right away. I'll be in the cafe. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. It's been a few hours and I haven't sold enough for my bus fare home. Street selling's pretty tough, so I turn on the charm for the lunchtime rush with a smile and a wiggle on my schoolboy touch. So the charm is working in the underground. There's a crowd of men and women gather round, and the watches they are going, the money is a flowing. Think I'll take a little extra, stick it in my pocket, spend you later. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I haven't sold a watch for an hour and I'm dying for a slash. I've had enough of this, so I'm off for a piss. Then a quick walk back round to the cafe. Sitting at his table drinking tea. Looks at me suspiciously. Then with a glance at the watch he says, how did you do? He paid me a couple of quid. Then he said, would you like to come and work another day? I said I'd come back down on Friday. And to that he said okay. So with £2 in my pocket and another 5 in my shoe, I nipped down to Castle Market where a man who looks like Leo Sayer is selling pots with cockles and prawns. You make me feel like dancing. Then off back to dinner on the Wiggers and then home. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield making his way.
And welcome back to Raconteurs Extra this Saturday night. It's the 17th of June 2017, or is it 2017? What is it? I mean, what do we, 2017, 2017? We didn't used to say 19 and 7. Well, in fact, I think they did earlier on, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, I think we've got bigger fish to fry tonight. So, welcome back to Raconteurs News, broadcasting on autonomousmedia.net and raconteursnews.com. We're also on Spreaker as well. You can find us on Facebook if you just search Raconteurs News, like our page, and say hi to us. And if you've got a story, you can get in touch with us here at Raconteurs News, and we will put you on air if you're credible, and if it's a good story, we'll put you on air. Tonight, I'm joined with by Paul Webster, co-hosting tonight, and of course on Tuesday night when Raconteurs News returns, we've got Max Egan joining us, so don't miss that one. That's Tuesday night from 8 o'clock, myself and Paul Webster with Max Egan. But tonight we've got Toby. We did have Toby Lee and Chrissy Morris. Unfortunately, we had to lose Chrissy Morris because his behaviour was unacceptable. I've got to say that he was just talking over. Nobody could get a word in edgewise. So we've got. I want to start off, Toby. How you doing? Are you all right? Did you have a comfort break?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, we've got a question from the chat room, and it says, can the presenters say if they think or not that the show made Chrissy look like a bully who does not help anyone, buys love... Oh, sorry. Well, does not help anyone buy love to have his ego stroked. I don't quite think that works, but anyway, as shown by today's events, he has no interest in listening to people and just tries to bully everybody. And what would you say to that, Toby?
Well, I think the sheer fact of the matter is that, like I said, he had plenty of opportunity to contact me prior to this, knowing full well that it was me trying to get an injunction to ask me straight, and I would have told him, as I've told you and the rest of the listeners. Now, intimidation, I would call that. Bullying, yeah, comes under that umbrella as well. Now, that raises a very good point, actually. So when I was
in my opinion, Toby, sorry, before you carry on, in my opinion, the guy, I can only go on. I've known this guy Facebook-wise for a while. He does good things. He posts good information.
Yeah, you can't take that away from him. I'd like to emphasise the fact, just while you're on that point, that this has never been anything personal about Chrissy at all. It's had nothing. I've got no. Okay, that we've had a disagreement, and.
Well, you should have disagreements. I don't agree with everything you say, Toby.
No, but this was not. But this was nothing.
That's what it's about.
This was nothing to do with Chrissy. He has made himself the central focal point of all of this when it had fuck all to do with him. And evidently, in answer to your question, what was put by the viewer or the listener in court, and I will say this. When I put my post on there saying about I had a massive win today, yeah, I had a fucking massive win. I'll tell you how I had a massive win. The massive win was that I was going up against Channel 4 and looking at £20,000 to £30,000 worth of legal fees, and Channel 4 QC made it evidently clear in court that the claimant, i.e. me, had nothing to worry about because Channel 4's intention behind the fucking screening was, I'll put it in my own terms, was that they was mugging Chrissy off. Now, so that's why I had nothing to worry about. Now, you've only got to look at the fucking look at the program, the opening sketch where Chrissy might, just to set the scene of the program, Chrissy might say, "Oh, it's early hours of the morning. Look at the sun. What a beautiful sunset." First thing in the morning, sunset. Fuck's sake! And they fucking showed that. That was one of the opening sketches. Now, if that's not setting the scene for the theme of the fucking program, I don't know what is. And like I said, the win I had was it took me to go and stand on my fucking 2 feet, have the bollocks that I had up against potential of £20,000 to £30,000 worth of legal fees to go and stand on the truth and go against Channel 4, one of the top fucking media companies in the United Kingdom, and fucking put my fight and put my case across to them. My win was, you know what my win was? Was at the end of it, we're not going to put any costs on it. So they didn't put no fucking costs on it. So I've had 2 hours in court of litigation, putting my case across. I've had Channel 4 telling me that basically they're just mugging Chrissy off, and they're not going to charge me for the fucking privilege. So fucking, that's a win. That's a massive win.
Yeah, but have you got it in paper, so people want to see it on paper. People will see it.
Paul, do you know what? After all of this, what's gone on over the last few days, I don't give a flying fuck what people want. Look, if they want to fucking have the fucking nose with like brown shit on the fucking end of it, following someone that ain't got a clue what he's fucking talking about, then crack on. I do not give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. I'm doing my shit. Watch my Facebook. I'm as transparent as you fucking see. My shit is your shit. I've got nothing to fucking hide. Simple as that.
The thing is, you stand by your results. You don't
listen, Paul. This was private. This had nothing to do with anyone else other than me and Channel 4. Yeah. Chrissy called it on. Chrissy fucking tried to publicly humiliate me. Chrissy has fucking tried to character assassinate me. Chrissy has tried to fucking put this in the public domain. Obviously, you've watched my Facebook. I ain't said a fucking word. I've just kept my mouth shut. We got to a point, and I'm like, do you know what? Fuck it.
That is why Jason contacted me this morning, because he thought this can be sorted out like a piece of piss. Let's have a chat about it. And we've seen what's happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't really have a chat with somebody who just wants to talk over people. Talk over you and just argue and not even listen to anybody else's point of view. But that's just from what I've seen tonight. I don't know Chrissy Morris at all.
Well, she's shown his true capacity, really, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well. So what did you make it? I'm assuming you watched the programme.
Yeah, did you?
What did you make of it? Did you think to yourself, well, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and this is the reason why I tried to get rid of it?
Listen, on the record, on the court record, it was exactly word, gospel, and verse, exactly what I predicted, exactly what I said to the Channel 4 QC and also the judge in Queen's Bench. It's exactly as I predicted. When I watched it, I was like, great. This is exactly what I told you. Which is misrepresentation of the facts, deceiving the public. Because, like I said to the judge, I said the thing is, I'm gonna have to deal with fucking explaining myself, because the perception that's been given is that Chrissy might, all the text messaging that I've received, is that what are you fucking trying to stop the show for? If it weren't for Chrissy Morris, you'd be out on the street. I'm like, fucking really? It's fucking that is the story that's been portrayed for the fucking general populace that's not the facts of the matter.
And this is your platform to be able to put things right and to say to those people, you know, this is not what the situation was. The situation was, I knew that this was going to be a hatchet job, which, you know, you get some people that say that it was a good show and it was fair and balanced. And then you get people that say it was a hatchet job. Me, I'm sort of really in the middle of it. I've only just consumed it today. I watched it when it went out live, but unfortunately I had some 4:00 starts, so I fell asleep while I was watching it.
They told me, Channel 4 QC told me and the call that the reason why they didn't want to remove my part of the clip was because that was the meat and bones of the fucking production, where it was showing Chrissy going down and just bowling when he went up to the Bailiffs, said it's all, yeah, I don't know what's happening there.
Oh, right. Well, Chrissy Morris has turned up again.
Right. When he said, when he went up and said it's all got, you turn up all Bodie and Door, and you know you've walked away all Lauren Hardy. Now I know for a fact that he stole that line off of a good friend of mine, Dave Gagey, because Dave said
stole that line off.
That's my line.
Chris, you're here. Are you there, Chris?
Yeah. I spoke to someone that assures me that there's a couple of things you guys would like to know. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to put a couple of questions over, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you know, when somebody's answering these questions, you don't, you know, talk over them.
Fellas, I've mates are all the time to do much, yeah? So all I'd like to do is put a couple of things across. Tobe Lee shared a video from Bada Bing that claimed I was a sex offender. Yeah, look at him having a smile up at it. Yeah? There was a video that Bada Bing made saying that I was a sex offender. Tobe liked and shared it. What is that all about?
What's your point?
What is that all about?
What's your point?
Well, the point, Toby, is
hang on. Bada Bing actually shared a picture of me saying that I was a nonce as well.
And Toby shared that.
But
now, no matter what happens, we shouldn't be giving the trolls shares and stuff, should we?
No, we shouldn't be fucking spreading bullshit though, Chris, should we? We shouldn't be whipping up the fucking friends in a witch hunt against someone you don't know fuck all about, should we?
I know enough, mate. I know that you tried to stop the show going out for selfish.
Yeah, as I've just explained, the reason why.
You're a selfish cunt. Why did you do it, Tobe?
Have you not listened to the show?
No, I haven't listened to it. I've not got time. I've got other things to do, mate. I've got kids that I need.
Sorry. Can I just have a word? Right, you got 2 ears and a mouth. Use them in that order, right? Now, in answer to your question, right?
So.
Why did I do it? Right now, if you're obviously this is going to be recorded. You can listen back over it again. I've already explained. I've explained myself because I haven't got to explain myself to anyone. But I've chose to discuss it. Sorry, you're interjecting again, Chris. You're talking over me.
Come on, hurry up, mate. I ain't got time. Why did you do it?
You haven't got time. You've got to take the kids to the pool and you're tired. You've got to get your head down.
Right. You flash cunt.
What?
I've missed out on taking my kids swimming thanks to you flash cunt. Now answer the question.
Listen, to be fair, I mean,
why did you do it?
The answer to the question is, right, a good friend of mine, Russ McGarry, I noticed on his wall, it come up in my notifications that he'd shared a video that Bada Bing put up. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know Chrissy Morris had changed the name by Depot, so I shared it and said, what's all this about? Well, I'm talking, hello. Right, so I shared it and put, what's this all about? So what's your point about me sharing a video that I shared off of Russ McGarry's wall? Is that it? Is that your substance and the reason why you've character assassinated me?
No, I want to know why you're helping the trolls, and I want to know why did you try to stop the show going out?
What do you mean, Chrissy? What do you mean by helping the trolls? Can you explain what you mean? Let's get some. Right. If we're going to do this, just a second, everybody. If we're going to do this, can we do this like grown-ups and just tell what do you mean by helping the trolls, Chrissy? Can you just explain that?
You share, if you, as a prominent person in what we're doing, if you share a troll video and like it, you are giving that credence. You are helping the troll by sharing bullshit because I've never changed my name by default. I will be changing my name by default because I've made a drunken promise. But I haven't changed my name, and I am not on the sex offenders register. And Toad knows.
I'm sorry. Did you say you're going to change your name by default because of a drunken promise?
Shared Bada Bing's video, yeah, which would have made people think, hang on a minute, Toad's friend has put up that Bada Bing, you know, basically he has given that weight. Why would you do that? Because Toad, if Bada Bing put a video out about you being a fucking nonce, I wouldn't have shared it. That's wrong.
Would you have stopped him?
No, because you're selfish, self-centered.
Chris, just sorry to inject, mate, but what's that got to do with subject matter?
The subject matter is that you're a fucking idiot.
That you put a post out there saying...
Why did you try and stop the documentary? Why did you try and stop the documentary?
The subject matter is that you, in your attempt, you called me a shill, an agent...
Yeah, you are a shill. You are a shill. I'll call you a shill again, you shill. Why did you try to stop the documentary?
I think we've already covered that, Chrissy. We've already covered that.
Just stick to me in a nutshell then. Sorry, who's talking right now other than Tobe?
Well, I'm fucking trying to... Well, everybody keeps speaking over me.
Paul, could you please tell me what you think?
Chrissy, I'll ask your followers, mate, because I'm not being funny, but...
I don't need to ask my followers. You're meant to be telling me.
I've already stated the case,
why did you try and stop the show?
Chris,
listen, Chrissy, he's already answered that question.
I haven't heard it, guys.
That's not our problem, though, Chris, is it? If you choose,
you don't want to tell me why you try to inject the show.
Chris, if you choose not to engage in debate,
no, mate, I haven't got the time or the data to bother with you because you're a shill. Now, Paul, can I ask you a question? What is the answer to my question? Why did he do it? Why did he try and injunct that show?
Right.
I'll tell you, Chris. I'll tell you.
I don't want to hear from you, you shill. I want to hear from Paul. I'm asking Paul a fucking question.
Right. No, you're asking a question, Chris. I'll tell you the reason why I tried to stop the show. Yeah.
Jason.
Right. Chris, are you prepared to listen?
No. I've asked Paul a question.
No,
Toby, can you just calm down just a second? Let's just... Right, Chris is asking Paul a question. This is how it works, right? And so Paul needs to answer that. Go, have a bit of a chill. Okay, right. So, Chris, you were asking a question. Paul, you were trying to answer that. So can you answer that?
What the fuck?
Chris.
Sorry, hang on, guys. Every time I get a phone call, it turns the mic off. Hang on, guys. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you again. Sorry, every time I get a phone call, it turns the mic off. So, go on, guys.
Okay, right, okay. Well, Paul's going to answer the question that you asked him. Paul.
Please.
Chrissy, you asked me a question about something that the only information I would have is what Toby would tell me, which is the same information. If I asked you the same question, you will give me your information. The whole thing about this with me, Chrissy, is you've dragged me into a fucking argument where I've just said, hey, do you know what? There's two good people doing great things who are arguing over fucking, I don't know what, because it's messages. So I say, come and talk, both of you. And you fucking drag me out on live. And say that hang on.
I'm responsible for putting this out, guys.
Just a minute, Chrissy. Let him finish.
People that will benefit from this happening are the trolls. Yeah,
Chrissy, you asked him a question. You didn't let him finish. You didn't let him finish. Let him finish, please. Carry on, Paul.
Listen, you dragged me out online. There was no trolls. There was fuck all.
What? You don't think the trolls are going to get hold of this?
Chrissy, is there any way that you can...
No, because look, I've not got the time for you to fucking mess up.
Well, you've not got the time, then, to get off the phone.
You to just get to simple fucking answers, yeah?
Okay, Andy, can we drop
the please? Has he told you? Can you answer that question?
There we go. Right. Sorry about that. Listen, you just cannot do anything with him around. He asks you a question, and then he won't listen to the answer, and it's just a complete waste of time. Where were we, Toby?
He's the reason why he's so fucking it up.
I'm just going to have a minute.
It's quite clear.
All right.
He's trying to
go on.
Sorry, it's quite clearly he's trying to justify his actions by just shouting. He's a bully. He's a fucking bully. I mean, it's no fucking. You can't take it away. Listen. We've tried to have a debate.
Let me tell you now, right? If we're looking at the word shill, there is somebody who's just been on and gone that looks more shill.
But mate,
hang on.
Sorry.
So if you are a shill, you are a less shill than him. I am a less shill than you, only because I know that I only come from the truth. You only know where you come from, Toby. I don't give a fuck what other people think, because a dickhead like that who you can't debate with, that's nonsense.
I'm not being funny. What's his excuse?
What he's just done is nonsense.
What is
things? I can't say that he's not a good man. He has done some good things, but that is a cunt-like behaviour that I can't put up with.
But the thing is, like, what is his point? He's bringing up a post that I shared off Russ McGarry's wall about Bada Bing that said that he's changed his name. And what? Is that the substance of his argument? This isn't about fucking Bada Bing. This ain't about a troll. It ain't about anything to do with that. This is about
it's personal.
This is about the fact that I went to court to try and get an injunction to stop the fucking film going to fucking air with my private, personal content in it because it was misleading.
Listen. This is
it's nothing to do with trolls or Bada Bing. All he's concerned about is his public fucking his publicity about how people perceive him.
He's gone a fucking long way to boost his publicity tonight.
Well, exactly.
I was talking to people at work, going, "Hey, have a look at me, mate. He's doing Battle of the Bailiffs tonight." I was out on personal time that apparently I shouldn't have. I shouldn't answer calls. I should answer calls, during my personal time when I shouldn't. And I told it, watch it, this lad's doing good things. And then I'm called out online on his live blog. And when I want to question him, very, very politely, he talks over me.
Mate, he wouldn't stand 5 minutes in court, mate, seriously. You're in court, you have a chair. You can't listen. He's
Jesus. That's just not on. It's
not. I think action speaks louder than words, and I think the evidence is quite fucking clear as far as I'm concerned. But I weren't going to go down this road because I'm not a mudslinger and I'm not shit. But considering the what's gone on and how I've been targeted the last few days, I'm going to actually go back, like I said earlier, a bit of Tarantino, mixing it up a little bit. And we'll go back to the start of this, and I'll tell you where all this fucking come from, and the reason why, the reason behind why I've done what I've done, and why I wanted to pull out. Now, back in I think it was August 2016. As you know, I'm dealing with my court cases and stuff, and I got attacked, and I fucked off to Thailand for 3 weeks for rest and recuperation. Now, when I come back, there was Chrissy Morris's supposed wedding down in Cornwall. Now, Lisa, I spoke to her earlier. She ain't got a problem with me mentioning her name. They asked Lisa to go and do the hand fasting for a pagan wedding down on the beach, Carmera Beach, if memory serves me correct, down in Cornwall. So me and Lisa drove down to Cornwall. Down to the hotel, B&B, whatever, and got accommodation and made the arrangements to go and meet up with Chrissy. Now, where this beach was, it's on a National Trust land, right? And there's a little cafe down by the beach. Fucking beautiful setting. Lovely, down in Cornwall. So we've gone down there to go and meet him down there. And there's a car parking fee to pay for the car park. It's National Trust. It ain't council, it's National Trust. You know, National Trust, but obviously, there's a lot of fucking heritage buildings or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. So there's a car parking fee. So we've gone down to the calf, and we ain't paid for the car park. Chris ain't paid for the car park. It's caused a bit of a commotion. No, we don't pay. It's trust. I'm a trustee. It's a national trust. Blah, blah. So we've gone down to the CAF, and all of a sudden, the CAF's got a phone call from the car park up top saying, the people that are down there, they ain't paid for the car park. So then Chrissy has had, while we're sitting around the table having a cup of tea, has had a fucking, not a row, but trying to get into a debate, because he's obviously very confrontational, as evidently we've seen, had a debate with the guy that owns the CAF where they are supposedly be holding the ceremony on the beach and they're supplying the food for all the guests that people are coming from across the country, including Channel 4 that was coming down there. So that was it. So because of this confrontation, because of this fracas that was going on the beach, the bloke said, look, we ain't going to host your wedding on here. You're not welcome here. And that was it. Police got called. Police were involved. Bear in mind, we've all gone all the way down to Cornwall. It's down the bottom end of nowhere. The Cornish people are beautiful people. You know, it's a proper community spirit. You can't fart down there without everyone knowing about it. You know, they spread the word between each other. You know, if there's wrong ones turn up, they spread the word. You've got an hotel, we've had some wrong ones turn up, bloody blah. It's a fucking boroughs. It's one of them fucking cases scenarios. You walk in a pub and like you stop and like everyone looks around and like, you're not from around these parts. But that is how it is down there. So this word's gone about that there's been this altercation down on the beach where, Chris has got the hump, he's stormed off. Right, there's me, there's Fiona, there's Lisa, a couple of other people, a couple of other guests. We've all gone out the car park. Chris has fucking gone wandering on the moors because he's got the hump. So we've gone off. We've gone back to the hotel, so we meet up, and no one can find Chrissy. Now, this is the day before his pagan wedding ceremony down in Cornwall on the beach. We've gone back to the hotel. They know about it. Word's gone round like wildfire. Everyone knows about it. But where he's got his reception, the hotel where his mum and dad, bless them, you know what I mean, they're elderly people, lovely couple. They've driven all the way down from Essex to come down to where the ceremony is. Chrissy didn't even fucking bother meeting and greeting his own mum and dad. Didn't even know where he was, didn't communicate. No reason why? Because Chrissy was off with Candace and Colin. It was more fucking important to go and get some filming going on with him than what it was to meet his own fucking mum and dad, Fiona's sister that turned up there with her family down at the hotel. We're sitting in the, in the foyer, in the afternoon. I'm like, where is everyone? No one can get hold of no one. Chrissy only fucking bothered turning up. Liz Swain, I spoke to her earlier and said that I'm going to mention her name. Liz Swain, she's on a shoestring budget with her partner, 3 kids. It was a weekend, it was an holiday. They treated her, they had script and saved to come down to there. Chrissy didn't even fucking bother communicating, didn't even contact her. We're all sitting around there. And to add insult to injury, now you can call me a fucking grass now, Chrissy, if you fucking want. Well, I'm just telling the truth, mate, because you're a cunt. Right? You've got the people turning up around there. The woman that's hosting the reception at the reception hall, we're sitting there talking to her because Chrissy's disappeared off because his fucking tongue so far up fucking Channel 4's arse, it's unbelievable. Fucking talking to them. Right? We were talking to the woman who's hosting the ceremony. She said, well, we've only had £100 deposit. We haven't got, look, unless we get the rest of our money, we're not going to be putting the food out.
Toby, listen to this. This is priceless. Paul Webster. Listen. No, listen. Listen, this is priceless. Paul Webster, Toby Lee, and all the rest of the crew at Raconteurs are using this as this opportunity to manipulate, cause trouble, and instigate hate on what a show has brought to the millions of viewers, really? A good insight into lawful tactics used by bailiffs in the way they conduct themselves in trying to evict people from their homes. It's people like Toby Lee who went to court, fact, in brackets, remember that, Toby? This is fact in brackets, to try and put an injunction to get the show kiboshed for his own purposes, for he has an insurance claim going through in which could violate the outcome of his claim, which don't know if this is fraudulent claim. I'm trying to interpret his grammar. It has not been proven, but it seems very, very ominous. Not just very, but very ominous. This is of reasons why this has come about and before the show. Paul Webster likes to shout his massive Muppet mouth off for his own games. I haven't got a fucking clue what they are. I really haven't. And getting himself known on the circuit. What's that? Please, somebody tell me what a circuit is, because Paul Wilshire on Facebook, be he real or not, is not only a cunt, but he's a knobhead. What does that mean? Chrissy Morris would rather spend time with his family than deal with a, what's that say? Absolute. It's not spelled like that. Scum like this. Now, I was with my family today when I should have accepted a phone call from Chrissy Morris, who's been nothing but aggressive, abusive, and towards me. Yet I'm a silly stunt. Who is this cunt? Who are you? Hang on. I'm not finished. Questions were dodged by Toby Lee, and he didn't answer the questions rightly. In the interview, and they tries to mute Chrissy. Clever guys, but it won't work. Whoa, those cheeky bastards, eh? Chrissy has more influence than those guys will ever have. So guys, go melt. Chrissy has more important issues to deal with than spiteful, hateful comments from little startups that like to twist, manipulate the media for their own gains. Shame on you at Raconteurs. Now go and pick on other person. Surely it's your job. Complete puppets. My God. God.
Well, yeah, some things are best left unsaid, you know. It's I'm not going to be shocked by anything or what anyone's got to say. You know,
well, look, listen, Chrissy had his opportunity. He came on twice. All he did was disrupt the conversation. He disrupted the debate. There was absolutely no debate. He asked you questions. Then when you tried to answer him, he just shouted over you, and that's just not conducive at all particularly for a radio show like ours. And you know, shame on us, Raconteurs News. I personally couldn't give a shit. I'll talk to people. I'll talk to Chrissy Morris. I'll talk to Toby Lee, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, because I don't really give a
debate. It was about debate at the end of the day.
What it was about was Chrissy justifying his allegations towards me.
No, sorry, Toby, no. When Jason got in touch with me, what it was about was two good people who had done good things having a disagreement, which has split a lot of. I hate calling it the truth fucking movement, because I don't even know what that means.
It's unnecessary, mate. What it is, it's unnecessary. The whole thing.
It's unnecessary, but that's what me and Jason were talking about. Getting the two of you to stop this divide and talk. You withdrew your consent for your part, nothing else. But it's now been construed. It's been construed that you've tried to stop the airing. Because, and Chrissy, in fairness to him, he's very passionate. He wants the show out. He wants to show Bailiffs at Bell Ends, because they are.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. I'm all for that. I'm all for the facts being aired and being put out. And like I say, it's never been anything personal towards Chrissy. You know, Chrissy's Chrissy on me. We've all got a difference of opinion. We've all got different ways of dealing with things.
So we should have.
And the fact of the matter is, what I witnessed down in Cornwall, and I see Chrissy in his true colours, with his direct aggressiveness, is he fucking weak. I was like, do you know what? I don't associate with people like you. I'm true to my cause. I'm true. I speak the truth. I'm transparent. And you know what? I've seen a side of you. Chrissy tried to get Lisa Tanner to stage an event as an eviction to fucking for the Channel 4 for 9 Hours Media afterwards.
Well, you mentioned something to me about where something went awry where he wanted you to make things up. That's what you told me.
No, what he wanted to do was, but yeah, because what happened was, because he fucked everything up with the police and everything was called down at Chimera Beach, he wanted me and Lisa to lie to Channel 4, to his mum and dad, to every fucking party that was down there, and say the reason why they couldn't have the fucking wedding on the beach was because there was no disabled access. And when he said that, I was like, do you know what? I don't like you. I don't dislike you. I don't hate anyone. There's no point. I hate fucking. He's bad. But I just don't. I don't associate with that. You're not the sort of person that your personality for someone to do that and act and behave in that way. He's not the sort of people I want to hang about with. And that was it. And then because of that, I started questioning the whole fucking Channel 4 thing, the whole bailiff thing. I was like, well, if his integrity is that way inclined, then I don't want to be associated with him on TV. I don't want to be a part of any of that production because I've seen his true colours and I don't want to be a part of it. And that's it. Simple. It wasn't nothing to do with it. It wasn't nothing personal. It's just that's his character. That's who he is. And I don't like that. And I don't want to be associated with that. So I wanted the injunction was to remove myself from the equation for them reasons, and that's it.
That sounds plausible and reasonable to me. That's why we should have been able to just sit and have that reasonable.
Exactly, Paul. Exactly. If he'd have phoned me up, because he knew that it was me that was up going to get that injunction through Channel 4, he might deny it. I've heard stories that the reason why he can't come on here because he's got copyright and Channel 4 can't talk about stuff. This and load of old bollocks.
I'm bored already.
If he'd have phoned me up, as soon as he fucking was made aware that I was fucking going to court and making an injunction, I would have fucking told him exactly the same as what I've told you tonight. Because I've got nothing to hide. I'm standing on the truth. What have I got to gain from lying to anyone? Nothing. Because the only person I'm deceiving is myself. So,
I said to you this afternoon, Toby. I said, do you know what, Toby? If you are full of shit and you are lying and you're going to come online live and still state all this stuff, and when it comes out, you're going to look a bell end and you've gone, I've got fucking nothing to hide. Do it, but don't shout over me. Don't ask me a question and not let me answer it.
Manipulates, mate. Because he manipulates people.
No, that wasn't ignorance. That was rudeness. I've been called out over just being part of a valid radio station asking for a valid debate. That was it. Yeah, I've been brought out.
Paul, he tried to hijack. He tried to hijack tonight's show, knowing full well that we was on at 8 o'clock. Russ McGarry put the offer in for a hangout. I was like,
he's not. Do you know what? He's not intelligent enough.
Well, that's evident.
He came in to fucking ruin it and just shout over it. That's great. If that's the best of your powers and you can get in front of bailiffs, then that's it. But I'll tell you what, we do need Chrissy Morris's in front of bailiffs.
We do, yeah. Listen, like I say, it's nothing personal. We do. We need people to stand up.
I'm saying to Chrissy, I'm not going to beat Chrissy up over this. Chrissy, we need Chrissy Morris's. We've needed a lot.
Totally agree, Paul.
Yes, get in front of people. But what's happening is, you've always got to keep an open mind. Is he following something? Is he paid? Because we've seen it. I personally know that people have been paid, in my experience, and we'll leave it at that. Or is he just a good man who has thought or been told that you are trying to stop what he was doing? That is possible. But when you cannot talk to that man and debate that man, that's the end of the conversation.
We're never going to find out. We're never going to get to the bottom of it.
Right. Anyway, what I wanted to do is I just wanted to remind our listeners that you're listening to Raconteurs Extra this Saturday night. I know it's not Tuesday, it is Saturday, and it's very unusual for us to be on, but these are unusual circumstances. We have sporadically had Chrissy Morris with us, joining us, but we've had lose him. We've got Toby Lee on as well. I just want to tell you that afterwards, after 10 o'clock, after we've finished here, we've got going to be having Freeman Jack's show's going to be on again. I think it's to do with the recent tower block fire in Kensington, and so stick around for that. I'm sure it's going to be a great show. But you're listening to us on the Raconteurs Network, Raconteurs Extra tonight on autonomousmedia.net, and of course raconteursnews.com. Check out our website, check out us on Facebook and on Twitter as well. Listen, guys, Toby, we're getting sort of towards 20 minutes to go, and I've been up phone all day, and I'm a little bit drained and menched.
Yeah.
Menched. So, I want you to, for the last 20 minutes, what would you say is the important things that need to be said, the things that you haven't been able to say so far?
Don't trust the mainstream media.
Right. So I mean, again, we're not really talking much about the show itself, but did you think that it was the hatchet job that you thought it was going to be? I mean, I think we were on a tangent last time.
Yeah. No, I think that I don't know if they changed direction with the broadcast because of the sheer fact that myself and a number of other individuals that were due to feature within the production.
What are you bringing the Jews into it for, Toby?
Sorry?
What are you bringing the Jews into it for?
Bring the fucking Jews in. Right,
you Semitic bastard.
Fuck off. There's a number of people that revoked their consent to actually be in the show. So I don't know whether it's the fact that because of the sheer facts of the matter. Now, what you've got to understand is Channel 4 have got to be very careful because there'll be damages claimed. Now, people have actually put in writing, as I know myself and a number of other individuals that were due to appear and feature in the show, have revoked their consent to be in there. Then I don't know whether back in the Bailiffs, what was it about? There was fuck all do Bailiffs, right? And the QC told me in court, he said that they needed my fucking sketch in there because that was key to the shows. I mean, Bones, because he was you know what I mean? He was when he done what he done down the road, but it was majority turned on to the Christy Morris show, talking about the Xbox, talking about this, that, and the other. There was nothing about back in the Bailiffs. There was no subject matter to regarding.
No. But it is mainstream. The mainstream media edit things.
Yeah, and I believe the reason why they edited it, why they done what they done, is because the amount of people that was involved in the film and the production revoked the consent. So they had to fucking box clever and be very careful about what they actually publicised. Because if they did actually put the scenes and the sketches out with the people that was involved that had revoked their consent, they're going to be liable. They'll leave themselves wide open for damages claims.
Well, see what they did was
it was a watered down. It was a watered down. There was
they look at the individual.
Was it?
No, they look at the individual. If some people might revoke consent. They'll look at that individual. Can they put that in and pay you off? Yes, they can. No, they can't. This is all weighed up before anything ever happens.
Channel 4 QC categorically stated on the record that it wasn't about me, the claimant, trying to withhold it. It was about making a mockery of Chrissy. Now, what you've got to understand is we are individuals who are involved in the treatment. We know a lot more than the general public of what goes on behind the scenes, what the foundation...
Toby, we know a lot more than QCs. We know more than barristers and judges.
Yeah, exactly. The money creation. What I'm saying is, but this program was targeted. You've got to understand, the general populace that don't know what we know, how is it going to be perceived to them?
Henry Ford said in the 30s, Toby, if the general population woke up and understood the banking system, there would be revolution overnight. And that I speak to people who can understand we live in a debt-based economy. That means it's all based on trust. It's all based on promise to pay. Eventually, I don't know when eventually is, because there is no ending to it. It is that simple. And because of bankruptcy, because of legislation, you can ask for a utility bill for gas, water and electric, and they send you payment because the only payment is a bookkeeping exercise. Debit, credit, debit, credit. What have I got? I've got a credit check. Oh, I've got this debit as well. Oh, well, you've got the credit check. Credit it. Credit, boom. Paid. That's how it's meant to fucking work.
Right,
I've seen my nan with a quilt round her on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm saying, Nan, why have you not got your eating on? She's saying, I can't afford to pay it.
Listen, don't get me fucking started on that, right? I watched my nan take her last breath through cancer. I moved back out of Surrey, moved back into my nan and granddad's house, this house, with my granddad for 2 years, and found him in the morning. First thing, fucking had a heart attack in the middle of the night. Because of the fucking eating, because he wouldn't have the eating on. He'd have fucking blankets and sheets all over it. He'd walk around with jumpers and pullovers around the house, wouldn't have the eating on. So, you know, I've got first hand.
Can't afford it, because they can't afford it.
Of course they can't, because they're fucking driven to the fear tactics. They're worrying about fucking owing money and paying the fucking,
So, but you try and tell your general public. I've bludgeoned a lot of my work colleagues in particular, because they haven't got it. They haven't got an escape route. They've got to listen to me, and they can't unhear what they've heard.
Right.
And these aren't stupid people. Some of them are stupid people. Some people, believe it or not, I know people who get paid 30 grand a year who think because the UK is an island, maybe you could swim under it. That is a true story. I'm not going to go into.
Yeah. But, let's go back. Let's go back to the fact of the topic for tonight, right? Because I'm still miffed. I still can't understand what all this is about. What is the fucking agenda? Why did Chrissy Morris do what he done? Why did he fucking choose to character assassinate me on facts he don't know, with no substance, with no evidence to back up what he's fucking got to say, calling me a shill, an agent, bloody, well, come on here live, calling me a shill. What's the agenda? What is the agenda behind Chrissy Morris? Why has he done what he's done? You know, because this is private. This is private. This is a business fucking relationship between me and Channel 4. Fuck all to do with him. Why has he chose to get out of his pram and fucking come on now and start casting these aspersions and stirring up a fucking frenzy for everyone across the country to personally attack me on the basis of what? Why? What's it about? That's what I don't understand. That's what I want the answers to. Why has he done that?
If you shut the fuck up, I might be able to sell you, mate.
Good luck with that, mate.
I think there's only, from my point of view, because, like I said, I don't even know how I got dragged into it, but I'm not directly involved. I thought, especially with Jason contact me and Andy producing, we can provide a platform to discuss something that obviously sent ructions through whatever people want to call the truth type movement. People were conflicted. Let's talk about it. Let's sort it out. Yeah. And it didn't turn out that way. It didn't turn out. Now, if there's an agenda, Chrissy didn't do himself any favours by keep coming and shouting and screaming and not letting people answer, asking questions and then not letting. This is
exactly.
Hang on. It's deliberate tactics. What politicians would use. So. If Chris is that intelligent, I applaud him. I applaud him for being able to do that. Or the other agenda is he's being used because he's a good, kind-hearted man who wants to stop people being evicted from houses and having the property stolen from them by cunts who have no authority to do anything. And that's what people need to understand. Before you start getting into the banking system and your free gas, water and electric, understand these cunts that come round to your property, tell them to fuck off. Don't deal with it. Don't deal with it on the door. Deal with it through legislation.
Listen, all administration, mate. Deal with it administratively. You know, it doesn't have to get to that stage.
Exactly.
on the front. You can deal with it administratively with paperwork, with facts.
People don't, Toby. People don't. I mean, my cousin's wife. You know, when TV licensing knock on your door and you let them in and you're watching Jeremy Kyle and you've not got a TV license, and then you give them your details and you sign something, there's nothing you can get out of that. However, it goes to court. There's the license fee and there's a court fee. As long as you are agreeing to pay that, no bailiff, no debt collector has any authority. Yet this lady had a man said that he's got a van an hour away that he's going to come and take her property. And that's a cunt. It takes a special type of cunt to be a bailiff.
Yeah, wait, right.
Chrissy stands up to them cunts.
Yeah.
Squares up to them.
Mate,
listen, we've got a few comments that have been popped in the in the chat room, and Andy's trying to put me to Skype, so I just want to read a few of these out. First, we've got a non-9435, and the question is: given his behaviour, would the presenters say Chris is a bully? Again, from the same person. Oh, that's the same one. Radcon made a point.
Comrade. Love you, comrade.
Right, okay. Radcon 2 here. I'm not picking any side. This is silly. We should not be fighting each other. We got so much incest, pedos, so many kiddie fiddlers in Parliament, all levels of fiduciary and trustees officers, to which we have all these to deal with in high-level officers. Come on, guys, make up. So what I want to, we're getting right towards the end of the show, but you know what I would want to ask
bit of resolution.
But what would it take for you and Chrissy to be working together? I mean, you don't have to be best buddies, but to be working together and to be in communication and be civil with each other.
It doesn't matter. They don't need to work together. They just need to know what they're arguing about, and does it mean anything? No, it fucking.
We're never going to quite clearly. We're never going to actually conclude the matter, are we? Because
no.
He ain't got the capacity to be able to listen, adopt any comprehension of the facts. He's got an agenda. He's got something in his mind. He's got his faults. He believes in, and there's no swaying. He will not actually. Quite clearly, he won't sway from it. He's got his beliefs. He's got his faults. Now, listen. I'm open-minded, mate. Seriously, I've got more important things to worry about. I'll put my hand out to any man. Forgive me.
Of course, I know that.
Listen. Forgive and fucking forget, mate. Do you know what I mean? There's more important things to worry about in life than be fucking battling. I've got enough shit on my plate. As far as being a shill and agent has been alleged. If you can see what I've got in front of me now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 folders, ring binders of court cases sitting here, which I'm my personal fucking battle, my personal fucking fight, which I'm up against. You know, I don't need this shit with someone that's supposed to be a comrade in arms that's on the same fucking page trying to fucking call me out. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, but I don't need. You know, there's more important things where. But even so, if he was to walk in here now and say, "Look, Tobe, I fucked up," and put his hand out, I'd shake his hand. I'd shake his hand because that's the kind of guy I am. That's just how it is.
Me too. But the thing is, like I said, he does come from this good place, and you don't know if the agenda behind it is to be a cunt or hang on, or is he being manipulated because of his good nature? We don't know that. And then when the opportunity is given to him...
Or is he just flame hungry and he's more passionate about fucking being on the camera, being on TV?
Well,
is he just seeing things through rose-tinted glasses?
Well, Toby, that is information that you are privy to exclusively. Yes, you tell us that. We weren't there. But the opposite is, Chrissy had the opportunity to tell us you're chatting shit. and he couldn't and wouldn't do that. And he played politics.
Listen,
Toby, you would make a great politician. You have to play the game as well.
Listen, Paul, I've kept quiet over it after all of this, after all the bullshit, since in court, I've kept my mouth shut. And the reason why I've come here today was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I didn't have to publicly come out here. I don't have to answer to fucking anyone.
Definitely not.
These are spurious allegations that they make towards me.
Yeah.
With other frenzy, I could have just fucking wrote it and said, you know what? Just fucking get on with it. I can't be fucked. But no.
The left ignored us. He could have fucked us off.
Let's put it on a platform. Well, because bearing in mind that Chrissy was one that started it publicly, putting it out publicly, attacking me. So I thought, well, let's debate this and let's deal with this publicly for all and sundry to fucking hear and see.
I think that's great.
And he chose not to. So I've got a question coming. I can make sound like a fucking radio host. So, someone just asked me, said, by the way, did he ever play the rest of his wedding? No, he didn't. No, his mum and dad had to fucking step in. His mum and dad fucking had to step in and pay the other 500 quid because he didn't have the money to pay. So,
well, we're at that point. We've got to the end of the show. I've got to say thank you, Toby. We're going to have you on again. You've got an open door. Welcome to come back at any time. And if things happen again, we'll try and get Chrissy Morris on again. Perhaps get Chrissy Morris on to put his side when you're not on, because otherwise he just talks over everybody. But this has been Raconteurs Extra. It's this Saturday night. Stick around, because afterwards Freeman Jack is going to be playing his show again. It's all about the Kensington fire that's been in the news. That's
really
the tragedy right after we've finished.
That is a tragedy. You know,
it is.
I've got a lot to say about that. That's that. I'm going to stay online, mate, to listen to that because.
I'll tell you what, guys. The only thing I would say about that is from that raging inferno created by a facade that was meant to make the building look nicer.
Have you seen the thing I put on my Facebook?
And make the building look nicer for the rich people. It's still standing.
Wait, Paul, have you seen the thing I put on my Facebook? Have you seen the thing I put on my Facebook for Chelsea and Kensington planning application? The planning application, they put through the planning for demolition that was put through.
Yeah.
Plan to fucking demolish.
Demolish.
It still didn't fucking collapse. That building still did not collapse. Yet 2 buildings collapsed in their own footprint within hours.
Don't get me started on that.
I think this is a whole of the show. A whole of the show.
I got shot down in flames last night at my mate's barbecue. Someone mentioned the Twin Towers and that was it. It was like someone just pulled the ripcord out my back and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, Toby's off again.
Brilliant. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank you, Paul, for my guest co-host. Well, you'll be back on Tuesday when we've got Max Egan on, and thank you, Toby. Like I said, you can come back anytime you want. We've got, I'm sure, Aidy would like to interview on Raconteurs 2 as well, and we've got Raconteurs News and Raconteurs Extra every now and again, which is, I think this is probably only the 3rd time that we've gone on and done an extra show. So it's been quite enlightening.
Yeah, it's important, this one.
It was very important, yes, and we got Toby on, and Toby was able to put his points across. Unfortunately, Chrissy wasn't able to put his points across without interrupting anybody, and wasn't able to be able to stop himself from interrupting. So we're sorry about that. We know that there's a lot of people listening that we've not had before. I hope you come back to Raconteurs News and Raconteurs 2 and be a raconteur with us. And we hope to see you all again. And listening for Freeman Jack after this, I'm sure it's going to be a top show, always a top show. And we're going to play out tonight with a tune called Funk the Police.
Stop talking shit.
Funk the Police, yeah. Funk the Police. So until Tuesday, from myself, Paul and Toby, have have a good rest of your weekend. I've got a wedding to go to tomorrow, so I'm going to have to have a bath in the morning. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you again very soon.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you all.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. I could be all spiritual and maybe even lyrical. I could spin a rhyme that you would think hysterical. With wit and a riff I could articulate exactly how it's possible to postulate. But please, they will fuck you up with ease if not held accountable for their deeds. Now don't imagine they're the good guys, please. Come on everybody, sing with me. Fuck the police. When they bust me for weed. Fuck the police. When they beat me up for no need. When they're beating up protesters. When they're rounding up dissenters. For the crimes they invented. For the people they protected. When they're covering up lies. When the government spies. When they're reading my mail. For the terrorist fairy tales. When they're working as the arm of the state. When they're racist and they're protecting hate. When they're thugs and scum, they shoot you in the face. When they target you just because of your race. Anywhere they support a monarchy. Anywhere they presume you're guilty. Anywhere they prop up a tyranny. Wherever they impose a rule. When the politicians use them as a tool. I don't imagine that they're good guys, please. Come on everybody, sing with me. Fuck the police. 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 When they bust me for weed. Police. When they beat me up for no need. When they're beating up protesters. Police. When they're rounding up dissenters. For the crimes they invented. For the people they protected. When they're covering up lies. When the government spies. When they're reading my mail. For the terrorist fairy tale. When they listen to my phone calls. When they fuck you up for no cause. When they beat me up for no need. When they bust me for smoking weed. When they're reading my mail like a government spy. When they're lying scum and they're covering up lies. When they're hassling and dissenters. When they're locking up old protesters. When they're working as the arm of the state. When they're racist and they're protecting hate. When they're thugs and scum, they shoot you in the face. When they target you just because of your race. Anywhere they support a monarchy. Anywhere they presume you're guilty. Anywhere they prop up a tyranny. Wherever they impose a rule. When the politicians use them as a tool. I don't imagine that they're good guys, please. Come on everybody, sing with me. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.